Here we go. We're live, Facebook Live. Here we are. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're joining us here. It's 4:30 p.m. on a Friday the 15th of March. Welcome to Wine and Design. I think this is, is it the 6th or 7th? I can't keep up. But really pleased to have you here. I think we're going to probably, hopefully, see some better weather over this weekend coming up. It's been a bit of a dreadful week in terms of, being overcast and dull. But we're going to brighten this up for you today because I've got an amazing guest here. First of all, I'll introduce myself. My name's Adam Scougall. I create beautifully unique homes for people that are staying put. I'm an interior designer here in the inner west of Sydney. And I've got a fabulous guest here today who's also a bit of a star in the inner west. It's Simone Azzi, real estate agent extraordinaire here at Belle Property Annandale. How are you today, Simone?
Hi, Adam. I'm really well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, that's my pleasure. I hope I'm not screaming into this microphone here. But I'm really pleased, really pleased to have you on today because first things first, I want to just have a bit of a discussion about I discovered all of these things that you do throughout the year. You just type in your name into Google and you get sort of a million different references from the last, 3 or 4 years. All of these charitable things you do, and you're also, I've got a whole list of things here, Simone, about you here. So you actually established your own fundraising campaign here, which is called, is it Passion Project?
Yeah, it's not a registered charity. I just came up with a fun name of the Passion Project, just to kind of put my name out of it, if that made sense. A few years ago, I just decided that I wanted to do, and had the idea for ages, but like many people, I think, trying to get the best of you, and I've got 2 children, so life's pretty busy and chaotic, but wanted to give back. So established the Passion Project, and we've done maybe 5 or 6 events so far, maybe 7 actually. A couple of really big ones for the homeless community and Chris O'Brien Lifehouse. It's pretty amazing. Makes me feel great.
I bet it does. I was just saying to you before, Simone, that I think when I look at your profile, you're a real estate agent. I believe you're one of the top 3 agents servicing Leichhardt, aren't you? Consistently ranked top 3? Yeah, so you're doing that. Fantastic. So you're a successful agent. I know that you're a mum. You've got 2 kids. What were their names?
I have a beautiful girl called Layla, and she's 6, and my son Anthony is 2.5.
Oh, lovely. And you've got a husband, of course. So
I do, yes. My Superman, he's at home looking after my beautiful babies while mummy's away hustling.
Oh, fantastic. So you do that, real estate agent extraordinaire, you're a mum with kids, and you've done all this amazing sort of work over the last couple of years. There's so many things here to talk about. One of the big ones, I think, is, are you still doing the Christmas fund that you had great success with a couple of years ago? Was it 2017, the first one?
We did. We've done 2017 and last year, 2018, the big Christmas feed. They were they're probably my 2 biggest events for the year, where I get quite a few pretty big names involved. We've previously had Gelato Messina involved, Harris Farm Markets, the Seagrass Group, who are Meat and Wine Co, and Ribs and Burgers have been incredibly generous. So many wonderful organisations have gotten involved and donated goods and services and money and their time to put on sort of a really big Christmas event for the homeless community of the city. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. I get so much joy out of it, and it's pretty incredible when you put the feelers out there to ask for people's help. So many people are so incredibly generous, but like I said before, sometimes don't know how to do it themselves. So you just have to ask. I certainly got quite a few no's, but there were so many wonderful people that said yes to helping out.
That's fantastic. So as I was saying to you, Simone, it's really, it's like a sort of benchmark thing. I think we all sort of get caught up in ourselves and our work and, our family life, but you've added that extra sort of hit to the whole system here, which is that you're giving back to the community all the time. Well done with that. It's very inspirational.
Thank you. I think it's really important. You know, I'm so incredibly blessed and privileged to have the life that I have and sell beautiful, you know, well over $1 million plus homes to people that are fortunate enough to be able to buy them. But then on the flip side of that, there's so many people that can't even afford a roof over their heads for a multitude of reasons. So I think if you've got the ability to give back, whether that be time, money or services, we all should be doing it for the greater good, really.
Fantastic. So it is Wine and Design, Simone. I know that you're in the office there and you've probably got a nice cup of, you know, mineral water, San Pellegrino, a cup of tea.
Yeah,
You've got water. But I've got to do this. It is Wine and Design. There's a nice big glass of Chardonnay there for everyone watching. Watch me sip it. You know, Simone, someone said that I had a huge gulp the first week. So every week I sort of just got to take a little very metered sip and not sort of gulp it down. But thank you for going into all of that fabulous detail about, you know, who you are and what you do. One of the fabulous things you do is sell some brilliant and very interesting property in the inner west area. How did you end up with Belle Annandale?
I was working for another agency in Leichhardt for many years when I first started in real estate, and when I wanted to sort of make a move and sort of move up the ladder, I looked for a brand that really resonated with me. Sorry, I should say that you know, had that prestigious edge that, you know, was really aiming for a different audience than what I was selling before, and I found Belle was a really incredible fit, and I've been with them 10 years now.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
10 years. That's fantastic.
10 years next week. Yeah,
that's brilliant. Congratulations. Congratulations on that, 10 years there at Belle Annandale. So I'm really excited. We've just sort of been having this catch up here. I want to broadcast the first property. Now, I think you've done me a little special favour. I think are these two even online? They're not, are they?
The little link I've given you, no, they're not online yet, but the link I've given you, you can broadcast. It's a bit of a behind the scenes snap, but very, very quick sneak peek, yes.
So, Simone, I know you've got very small sort of screens here, but, you know, hopefully you can still give us a good overview. Give us a bit of a tour, I reckon. I mean, from my perspective, I've had a look at them and some really just great discussion there. So how about we talk about the first one?
Sure.
Which is 13 Reserve Lane, Annandale.
Yes. So that is a late 1800s warehouse that's been literally, the front facade is, I think, actually, sorry, all four retaining walls of the building are all that's really left of it. It was redesigned by a very well-known architect called Michael Muir. It's a pretty incredible space. So you'll see a couple of the photos as we sort of go through. It's quite eclectic, it's quite edgy, while still being quite a blank canvas where someone, you know, can come in and put their own stamp on it if they like. A bit Japanese inspired. You can kind of see the beautiful maple trees. On your right-hand side, there's a small little koi pond. But the main sort of jux of the warehouse is the big, beautiful steel beams. It's very open and bright and airy. It's a really beautiful space and quite private. Beyond the front wall, nobody can see in anywhere, so it's pretty amazing.
And you said this was renovated about 12 years ago?
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, actually, when you walk through it. The bathrooms and kitchens have been done quite well. The kitchen's quite quirky. I think people are either going to love it or hate it. My vendors obviously love it. I think it's a pretty wonderful space. It's not going to suit everybody's taste, but like I said, you know, if worst case scenario is just a couple of cabinets you need to change, the rest of the property is pretty spectacular.
I'm sort of just, thank you, Simone. I'm sort of just panning through these images. I don't know if they'll catch up very quickly, but you were talking about the kitchen. I mean, before I guess we get into anything nitty gritty, I just love this property. To me, it's kind of, you know, one of these places that would be sort of a little jewel. I think just having a quick look at the location, it's just so quiet too, isn't it? It's in a lovely lane.
100%. You don't even feel once you're past sort of the front door. It's down a really quiet laneway. So you get pretty much zero pedestrian and car traffic down the laneway, which is lovely in the west. You also don't really get any noise, which is great. So it certainly feels like your own private, tranquil space whilst being in the middle of the city, really.
Yeah. So, and then you can't get past this inner sort of courtyard area. I just love the way, architecturally what they've done. It was obviously, I think, it must have been heritage restrictions on what they could do, but they've really sort of taken out the middle section. Obviously, I think they've done an add-on. But there's sort of pylons there and just that sort of atrium feel in the middle. I can imagine.
Really pretty.
Yeah. Do you live in the inner west, Simone?
I did. I don't at the moment. We moved after I had my second child, but my husband and I lived in the inner west for well over 10 years and we just love it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, I live in the inner west, I have done for years, but I'm just thinking in this particular property, you know, what a lot of people do here is we sort of get in our backyards if we've got like a terrace and we'll do that to get out in the open if we don't go down to a pub or something. But I'm just thinking, isn't it amazing to have a property like this? You just invite people over, you sort of have this really beautiful internal section. Everyone loves to sit and eat and whatever drink, but you've got all of this fabulous sort of architectural work around you. You can see the sort of blueprint of the original structure of the building and the bricks, and it's just like I would just love to be sitting there in the summertime or autumn or whatever, any time of year. It's just a fabulous sort of blueprint, isn't it?
It's perfect for entertaining, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
The way that the property is designed, it's sort of got two separate wings. The far wing has your sort of main master bedroom and an ensuite, but you could really use that as a guest wing. So you didn't necessarily have to use that bedroom, but it's nice to have that sort of separation if you were ever to have guests stay. But I actually really love the way that the wings are connected by the central courtyard. Might not suit everybody, but I think those that come in and really appreciate it for what it is will love it.
I mean, I'm just going through some photos here, Simone. I think it's incredible. I just love it. I mean, there's lots of additional things inside. I mean, I hope we're catching up here. Here we go into the bathroom, etc. There's that courtyard there, which is just, that's what we're talking about. That's kind of the money shot for me. I mean, I'm kind of taken already. There we are. I'm going to get in there and really enjoy living here. You talked about the kitchen and I mean, 12 years ago, so there's a bit of a renovation done. You talked about the kitchen kind of being quirky. It is pretty quirky.
It is, but I love it. You know, I don't know if that's just part of my job where I kind of get sick of seeing the same boring white kitchen here and there, that it's kind of refreshing to see something a little bit new with some personality. Like I said, the owners designed it specifically to their taste, so it won't suit everybody. The appliances they've used are incredibly high-end, but the cupboards themselves, I think they're really funky, but we'll see what the feedback's like. We're first open for inspections tomorrow, so I'll be really interested to get some feedback from the market and you know, see how they take on it.
Fantastic. Philippe's just jumped on, Simone, and he says he loves the courtyard. So I think we all love the courtyard, Philippe. So
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, G's just jumped on. Hi, G, how you doing? Yeah, that kitchen it is quirky. I mean, I love it just because I think it's so unique. And I love people that just sort of take their own eclectic sort of approach and just do whatever they want. I guess if you wanted to update that, I mean, I'm not even sure what the material they've used is, but I think you could definitely, it would not be very difficult to sort of take out maybe some of those cabinets, open it up a little bit if you wanted to. And then, you know, a lot of people might go with a Caesar stone or something, or they might totally kind of dig what it is, but it wouldn't be terribly difficult to give it a bit of an update. But it reminds me, do you know Kelly Wurstler? She's a designer in the US.
No.
Have you heard of her? She does all these sort of fabrics and wallpaper and sort of, you know, crazy sort of almost 80s. Have you heard of her?
I think I might know who she is.
Yeah, well, this kind of, I'm looking, I don't know whether it's for mica or something that they've used there, which is kind of a little bit retro, but it reminds me of her in a way. So it's pretty cool. What about the rest of the house, Simone?
Look, there's quite a lot of timber panelling throughout the house, which I think I actually love the way that it sort of flows with all of that timber panelling. But like I said, if it wasn't your thing, you know, gyprock's a pretty inexpensive way of sort of, it would be pretty sad to sort of see that happen to all that beautiful timber paneling, which has all been hand done, mind you. But, you know, if you didn't like it, you know, gyprock and white walls, if that's your thing, go for it.
I think that's, I mean, it's interesting. Sure, you can gyprock it, but I think that's the quirky part of this home, isn't it? Is that you've got, as you said, it's been done by hand. So, I mean, I really love it. I think it creates a lot of detail. I even love the artwork, that the unique pieces of art that the owners, obviously, they're great pieces. I absolutely love them, very expressive. But you know what about a compromise, Simone? I mean, you could probably, if you really didn't like all of it in the veneer, then you could actually go and paint portions or gyprock portions. But I would hope that the person that moves in doesn't really change a great deal of it, maybe just adjust certain areas if they don't want to have so much wood paneling. But I think it's great. It's really cool.
Look, real estate is so personal and so subjective. What one person loves, somebody else might hate. So that's almost the beauty of my job too. I just love seeing how different people interpret different spaces. So that's what gets me going every Saturday. I love hearing the different sort of feedback. I love it, but like I said, it'll be interesting to see what the market's take is on it as we get some things through.
Okay, cool. The other thing, Simone, if you don't mind me sort of just saying, is that the other thing you could do, people often ask me, I'm just looking at the floorboards, they're very red. I mean, I love this property. People, though, do ask me, how can I change the colour of the boards?
Yeah.
I'd like to lighten them and this and that. But if you've got a cherry wood board through the house like this, and we've got all the wood paneling, which I really hope nobody touches, but the best thing to do is take the boards darker if you're going to do anything with them. Take them to a Japan black or darken them. If you try and lighten them, they go sort of rosy pink. So take it darker if you want to do anything at all. But what a fabulous property. I bet the owners have been really happy there.
The black floors, I think, are actually a really great idea because it would actually go really well and tie in quite nicely with the concrete, and then the tiled floor that's outside in the courtyard is a combination of a couple of different colours, and yeah, going darker would definitely give it a different look, but still tie in quite beautifully. Yeah,
very good, very nice. So when do we get to see that, Simone? I might have to race out there and have a look at this property. I think
it's open tomorrow, Saturday, 11 to 11:30. That's a sneak peek before we launch online next week. So the property will hit the market publicly next week.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for giving me the sneak peek. I absolutely love it. I think it's superb. We've got another one. I'm just looking at the time. I could sit here for another half an hour, Simone, but I guess I've got to go home with the kids at some point and husband. But do we want to have a look at this fabulous other one, which is kind of wow. And I can't even remember the name of the designer, but she is fabulous. She's fabulous.
It's almost the complete opposite of what you've just looked at. So the address is 101 Day Street in Leichhardt. This is a very exclusive sneak peek. This won't be launched for a couple of weeks now. The designer is Lauren Mahoney. The house is just beyond words. It's beautiful.
Just bear with me for a second, Simone. I'm bringing it up.
Oh,
you know, you are so right. It is beautiful. And I mean, I could imagine this is quite a small property, but, you know, there is so much wonder inside it. And the detail, I mean, I won't harp on. I'm going to ask you to take me through. Let me bring up the, let's wait till we catch up with the pictures. But wow, what a great property this is. This is really interior design, isn't it, Simone?
100%. This has been designed within an inch of its life, but so tastefully done, in my opinion. You know, there's certain elements of the property, again, that might not suit everybody. This home was done by an interior designer for herself. So the finishes are the most exceptional quality I've seen in a long time. Just so, like, we've got seagrass wallpaper, Ralph Lauren wallpaper. Every single piece of lighting has been imported from the States. Nothing you can find here. She really didn't want, this is sort of her showpiece for herself to enjoy, rather than sort of doing everything for her wonderful clients. But everything is just exquisite.
You're saying all the right words there, Simone. You said Ralph Lauren, grass-cloth wallpaper. Wow. I just love it. I'm, you know, Simone, I'm going to the Southern Highlands tomorrow to a design day with some designers that that their aesthetic is really this sort of luxury, warm feel. It just reminds me of a couple of the people I'll be meeting tomorrow. But look at that seagrass wallpaper. It's just immaculate. I mean, the wallpaper really warms the space up. You know what else I love here? The two chandeliers that are hanging, and you can sort of catch the other one almost in perfect sort of line.
Yeah.
Isn't it just a statement sort of
room? They're even more special in person. They're quite statement pieces. They're antique chandeliers, so they certainly, she didn't want to leave them with the property, and she's quite sad to see them go, but she really scoured the world to find those to fit perfectly in that space. So they will be staying with the property for the lucky new owners whenever we find them.
I tell you what, they are lucky. They are beautiful, and the scale of those, I think scale, if anyone wants to know how to create a statement, just have a look at this property here. The other thing I love is the floorboards of, you know, these beautiful, deep, chocolatey floorboards that are throughout.
Yeah.
They're stunning.
The wall opposite to that, I'm not sure if you can flick through to it, but is a hand-painted a mural of, that's the kitchen. The kitchen's just country / French / look at the old English tapware, the Carrara marble tiles, you know, the big Butler porcelain sink. It's even the royal blue that that sort of dark royal blue. It's just so regal yet country French inspired. It's just divine.
It's beautiful. So I think our slides are taking a while to catch up. There's our wall covering.
Yeah, so that's a hand-painted. It's hand-painted wallpaper along the side of the wall. Just to give you an idea in terms of how luxe this property is, you know, the drapes that you see to the left of that picture are throughout the entire home. They're 100% imported silk drapes, so incredibly heavy.
Beautiful.
There's probably close to sort of $70,000 or $80,000 worth of silk drapes in the home. That wallpaper on the wall, just to give you a bit of an idea again in terms of cost, that's almost $20,000 worth of wallpaper, hand painted. You can't even see the lines where the wallpaper connects on that wall. Somebody that really appreciates attention to detail will love this home. There really isn't anything that's been missed.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely stunning. I mean, we jumped past the kitchen, but, you know, the great thing about this home is, you know, this is what we would do as designers, this is the type of thing that we would love to be let loose to do.
Yeah.
So when I look at this property, I think, gee, every detail, you know, I mean, the collection of artwork that's here and, you know, all of these plates are stunning. You can look through to the kitchen. We didn't really get a great chance to talk about it in depth, but I just that you know, it's this sort of shaker style sort of classic look, and it's really stunning. I think, is that a marble top in the kitchen, Simone?
It's all Carrara marble, yes.
All Carrara, so God, high end. So I'm just looking for, I mean, the other thing is, it's so beautiful. I can just imagine what that wallpaper's like. We've got some really beautiful dining area there. Look at that sink in the kitchen. I hope we're catching up. Wow. And the Carrara, and as you said, the drapes. So all of these inclusions here and all of these beautiful design elements are kind of, you know, there's nothing I would really, I mean, it's a designed home. There's nothing you'd change. And it's all been built to last, hasn't it, Simone?
Oh, most definitely. The quality of everything, even the cabinetry is all custom, bespoke cabinetry. It's certainly not an IKEA home, if that makes sense.
Oh my gosh.
Every single item has been custom, hand done, sourced from around the world. Even the subway tiles you see in that photo there, they are sort of an antique glass sort of subway tile, which is such a beautiful finish to that outdoor sort of barbecue area where the sink is there and the barbecue. It's just such a lovely space.
Yeah, what I love about this, Simone, is it's you know, these narrow properties, you know, they take a bit of thought to sort of work out how you're going to spatially make the most of every area, and especially the outdoor areas can be tricky. But this is absolutely beautiful. I mean, they've got an outdoor or sort of semi-outdoor area here. The kitchen out here could be a cooktop there. It's just stunning in every way. It's just beautiful. But again, you've got, you know, in the inner west here, we want to really enjoy our outdoor. We don't always want to take off somewhere else to have that outdoor sort of al fresco dining with our friends on a Sunday afternoon or Saturday evening in summer. It's kind of, look at this, all of this fabric. I can see a bench seat here. I hope, yeah, it's just caught up here. So this is a beautiful outdoor area. We've got like a Moroccan pendant here. But just making use of the space, to me, is, it seems that every inch has been thought out very carefully. It's really beautiful.
Very much so, even from a storage perspective. So that bench seat you see on the right has got storage completely underneath it. And the cupboards on the left-hand side, one of those cupboards is a beautiful laundry, as well as sort of a clothing basket, so you can open it up, put your dirty clothes in there before you're going to wash them. Space for like a bar fridge outside, so it really is the perfect spot. It's, whilst being incredibly beautiful and a great spot for a Sunday afternoon rosé, it's also completely functional and just ticks all the boxes of that sort of inner city living. Whilst compact, it just makes living so much easier.
Absolutely stunning. I mean, let's have a look at this. I mean, you've got really classically, beautifully fitted out bedroom here. That's back downstairs, but just every detail. I mean, I know a lot of this is decorative, but the other thing is that I know that all of these beautiful drapes, the wallpaper detail, all of the wainscoting in the home, which is that section below the wallpaper that we looked at, which is that white panelling. And then you've got all this beautiful thought about, you know, the indoor and outdoor relationship. I mean, this would be beautiful. I mean, obviously you're going to have some new owners in here at some point shortly, Simone, but I might have to throw a card in their letterbox or something. Just so I can get a look in and have a look if they need any help. Talk about the letterbox, though. Have we got a picture of the letterbox?
It was a good-looking letterbox. We had to take a picture.
Oh, my God. No, but it's like, I don't know, I'm flicking. This is stunning, this home. Oh, my gosh. I wish we had more time. I mean, I'm flicking through this. The bedrooms are absolutely beautiful. The wallpapers are stunning. But what I meant by the letterbox, it must have been an old sort of post office. I wonder where they got this letterbox from. I'm sure it's got a story behind it.
I'm sure it does. I don't know the story. I'll have to come back to you on that. But if I know my client pretty well. I sold the property originally when it looked nothing like that. And
oh my gosh, did you?
I did. She's a woman on a mission. So
oh wow.
There would 100% be a story behind that beautiful letterbox.
What was the place like before? Just generally.
Look, the floor plan was pretty similar, but it couldn't have been any plainer. It was just, you know, a traditional old terrace with, you know, your timber floors and high ceilings. But Lauren completely transformed the house, even to the point of her not particularly being too fond of, you know, the plaster work in the ceiling and the cornices, and she changed everything. So there really is absolutely nothing left that has not been renovated or transformed in this home. So it's certainly very exciting for me to get to come back in and have the pleasure of selling it again.
Fantastic. I mean, look at what you can achieve. You know, this is a little tiny box of beauty. Just some of the detail here. I keep going back before we finish, Simone. There's a kids' room here, which is absolutely beautiful. I mean, the light fittings, you said they were sourced. I know these are not go down to Beacon Lighting and pick them up, sorry, Beacon, but these are beautiful pieces, international pieces, aren't they?
They are. I believe, if anybody is interested, I believe possibly the designer or the distributor is called Laura Kincaid, but they're all from America. So if anybody is interested, unfortunately, it's not something you can get from here.
Fantastic. But please call me. I know Laura Kincaid and I have an account, and I can definitely talk to Laura about getting you some beautiful new pieces. But look, we're at what a fun half an hour to jump on with you, Simone.
Thank you so much.
We're out of time, unfortunately, but my gosh, you have some beautiful properties to that are coming up. Can we, before you go, we just got to say a quick hello. Zoe, thank you, my darling. Zoe Scott says stunning. Michelle, I didn't jump on here to say thank you for your comment. She loves the vintage feel of the veneer panelled walls in the previous property. So I think, you know, it's, yeah, thank you, Michelle. So thank you. Thanks, Simone. Thanks for jumping on, telling us a little more about you. What have you got planned for the weekend?
Oh, Saturday, work, meeting lots of people. Yeah, it's show day, so very exciting. Saturday's favourite day of the week.
Fantastic. Well, maybe I'll see you as I sneak in to have a look at these fabulous homes here in the next couple of weeks. So thank you, Simone. I wish you a wonderful weekend. And thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you very much. And we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.